Welcome to the EOB podcast, where we talk about the weekend box office and the new openings this week. I'm Ben No, and joining me is Sen Duong. So let's begin. So Sen, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Hopefully I can make it to today's podcast without coughing my lungs out.
Yeah, you sound much better. I mean, last week, we were barely hanging on.
Yeah, I had my coffee too.
Yeah, you had your coffee. I had my coffee. So let's begin with where
Will
we
Smith.
left off last week. Let's do some housekeeping. Remember we wondered about whether American Sniper got to, I don't know, 300 million or whatever faster than Mockingjay, and we say we'll get back. And I took a look, and it did. I guess.
It did. Oh, okay. So it did get to 300 million faster than Mockingjay.
Yeah. So that's why it's pulling ahead, and that's why it's on track to make more than Mockingjay.
It's already at 331 million, and it's still going strong.
It is. And after the podcast last weekend, I hopped on to YouTube and caught the trailer to Dragon Blade, the Chappie and John Cusack movie. Yeah, it's as bad as people said it was.
I mean, it's so bad that it went viral.
Well, it's not. I wouldn't say it's bad as more that it's bland.
I think one of those things is it's really a film, a Chinese movie with American actors. So the screenplay, even the English screenplay, is written by a Chinese person. So it sounds very cheesy and sounds kind of off.
Yeah, when I watch it, I say, oh my God, this is like it plays to everyone's weakness.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, it's a Chinese movie.
You have Adrian Brody, Oscar, winning actor, saying these lines, and
right, and Jackie Chan speaking English.
Yeah.
But I have to say that is a step up from the old Hong Kong movies. Where they have right now in Dragon Blade they have like real actors.
Oh yeah, right.
American actors or Caucasian actors.
Before I was reading into the making of Enter the Dragon.
Yeah.
And the director said that a lot of times in these Hong Kong movies, because there are so few Caucasians in Hong Kong and in China in general.
No.
Hold on, let me finish.
Okay, I'll let you finish.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna K and West you. Okay.
Yeah. Hold on. Yeah. Anyway, so and I think it's from other writers covering the Hong Kong China movie scene. They say most of the times in these films they grab their Caucasian actors from the American or English embassies. They just go there and they ask them, hey, we're making a movie. Which one of you guys want to, have a role in it? And a lot of them were like, whoa, this is interesting. I'm going to be in a movie. So they got most of their Caucasian actors from these embassies.
No. You got it wrong. They don't have most of the actors. They only have two. There were only two Caucasian male actors, right? That bald guy with a beard, and then that skinny guy.
Okay, all right.
Right, there were only two. I mean, if you think that like Asian actors have it hard in Hollywood, imagine like a foreign actor in Hong Kong.
Yeah, right. Right. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
But here's the thing. Surprisingly, maybe it's because the variety critic who covers Asian cinema and the Hollywood Reporter writer who also covers the Asian cinema. Maybe it's because they saw the trailer and saw how bad it was. Surprisingly, their reviews were actually pretty good on Dragon Blade. I mean, these are two writers who have in the past been very critical of Jackie Chan's recent productions, and surprisingly, they actually like Dragon Blade. Even maybe it's because their expectations have been lowered so much by the trailer that they saw it and they're like, "Whoa, this is not complete utter crap."
Well, maybe they just like it's kind of like the Stockholm syndrome, like they got beaten and battered by all these junk, and then they saw some light. And it's not as bad as I thought it was.
Yeah, so I mean, so I guess people might be pleasantly surprised. I mean, because
look, it's still bad. I mean, how could you say that line saying he took my place in your heart? Between two guys. Not that there's anything wrong with that, by the way, but that's in a Jackie Chan movie.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm not sure that movie will make a dent anywhere.
Jackie Chan has actually, well, first of all, the film opened during Chinese New Year, and it opened to 55 million during the Chinese New Year weekend, which is huge in any standard, even in Hollywood standards, right? You have a 54 million opening. Mm-hmm. So it did gangbusters in China, and Jackie Chan, he's been lucky. His career was kind of winding down in the U.S., but then the China market exploded, and he's becoming one of the top draws, if not the top draw in China, because his last three films, Police Story 2013, Chinese Zodiac, have all opened huge, like in the 50 million range. And on average, they've been making over 100 million. Police Story 2013 made like 86 million in China, and Chinese Zodiac made like 140 million in China. So he's been really successful in China. Even excluding excluding the Rush Hour films, his Chinese movies have been outgrossing his American movies. Well, excluding the Rush Hour movies and the Karate Kid remake.
Yeah, well, I mean, there is some home court advantage for Jackie Chan. So
he's been lucky because at first he was super huge in Hong Kong, and then as the Hong Kong market went pretty dead, actually, they went from making 300 something movies to like 30 movies a year.
Yeah, pretty much production went to China, and all the talent went there as well.
Yeah. So when Hong Kong movies, when the Hong Kong industry was going downhill really fast, he made the transition to Hollywood, and he made the Rush Hour movies. And when his career started winding down in Hollywood, the China market exploded, and now he's arguably the top draw, the number one draw in China in terms of opening. His films have opened really well in China. Even with Dragon Blade, it's already made 100 million in China after a couple of weeks.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So it's
there's no accounting for taste. Okay. Yes. Okay. I guess that's all we'll stop there.
We went on a huge tangent.
Before we go on a tangent, even more of a tangent into Jackie Chan and the Asian cinema.
Right. All right, let's get back to
let's go. Let's get back to this past weekend's box office.
Right.
Okay, so we were way off in our predictions. At least I was. Focus.
What did you have on Focus?
Focus. I was saying best case scenario was 35 million.
Oh, okay.
And it performed way below that.
I think I was pretty bad too. I think I was on the other end. I was saying 10 million or something.
No, you would say 15. 10. Oh,
I was saying 15. Oh, okay.
Yeah, around 10 to 15. Right. I mean, 15. So which was pretty close. I mean, I expected better, but I think you were right. I mean, this is not a movie that plays to
his core fan base.
Yeah, like his core fan base, which is action comedy.
Yeah, right. Or just pure romantic comedy,
Maybe. No. Yeah, but he didn't do a lot of those, really.
Yeah, he didn't. I guess Hitch is like the only kind of other one that.
Yeah, but
that's not even romantic comedy. That's more of a comedy.
Yeah, but Focus wasn't originally his movie. It was Ben Affleck. Yeah, he was the first choice to play the role, but then he backed out, and then they grabbed Will Smith.
Ah, okay.
So it's not exactly.
And Will Smith said something about he once he saw that what's her name, the
Margot Robbie.
Yeah, Margot Robbie was in it. He signed on.
Okay.
Which is kind of weird, right?
Well, he is single now.
He is. Is he single now?
I think he's single now. I guess him and Jada Pinkett Smith.
It's not official though.
It's not.
I don't think it's official yet.
I don't follow.
There's been hints. Yeah, there's been hints. I read a recent interview by Chen Yamato,
Oh, okay. Oh,
From
Miss
the Daily
Jan.
Beast. Yeah,
Yes, yes,
from
yes.
the Daily Beast. The general feeling I got out of reading the interview is there's trouble in his marriage, but I don't think it's official yet.
Right, but more like okay, we need some space kind of thing, and
Yeah.
it's not official, but definitely something going on.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, so
very good.
I think it kind of did a little bit. It did way worse than you expected, but it did a little bit better than I expected. My thing is his previous film where he kind of got out of his comfort zone was 7 pounds, and that opened to like 14.5 million or something. But then it opened during the Christmas holidays, the holiday season.
Yeah, they were
The
shooting
winter
for an
holiday
Oscar.
season.
They were shooting for an
Yeah,
Oscar with that movie.
yeah, and because it opened during the winter holidays, it was pretty leggy for a film that opened at 15 million,
Mm-hmm.
14.5 million. It eventually went on to gross 70 million, which is not bad for a Will Smith, drama. Focus, it opened slightly better, but I'm not sure it's going to have that kind of legs.
Well, see, this is still the 19 million is still an estimate.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like barely, 19 million and 100,000.
So when the final figures come out, it'll
Could
probably
be lower.
18.
Yeah,
probably
could be
18
lower.
and a half. Right.
Yeah. So
but regardless, I think some people look at it as this is this is kind of like a referendum on Will Smith's star power, that is no longer as bright or as it used to be. But I'm like, this is not. If Will Smith goes out, some people mention After Earth, but After Earth isn't really a Will Smith movie because he's kind of a background figure, and his son, But if Will Smith does a sci-fi action adventure comedy movie and it still opens to less than 40 million, then I would say that's a referendum on his star power. But when he goes out of his comfort zone and it still makes 19 million. No, I think he still has a huge draw.
I think during After Earth, I guess. I guess that was the movie. He said that he would take on less blockbusters.
Yeah, right.
So
I guess he doesn't really care about his box office anymore. He just wants to go and do stuff that he likes and kind of expand and.
Right, maybe like he said, he wants to take more risk. So maybe Focus is one of those movies, and I think we may see more of these type of movies where, again, like you say, he gets out of his comfort zone and do more drama thrillers.
Which is good for him because he's already had a taste of what it's like to be the top draw at the box office. Now it's like just go and do stuff that will expand his range.
Yeah, I mean, I better start now because he couldn't stay on top of the box office forever, right?
Yeah, unless he's Jackie Chan.
Well, he doesn't have a different market, right? He doesn't have China to save him.
Yeah, or that's true. Jackie Chan had first he had Hong Kong and then Hollywood and now China.
Yeah.
When you look at it, he's been the top drawer in Asia since the late 70s.
True, but what? With Jackie Chan, he's kind of a special case where he is the writer, director, action choreographer, production chain. He owns the whole production chain.
Yeah.
He could make his own movies.
Right, and I guess he's been pretty business savvy. In terms of. He recognized that the Chinese market is expanding, and he kind of took his persona and kind of transitioned over to China and focus.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah. Like I said, he owned. Somehow we end up talking about Jackie Chan again.
Yeah.
But okay, let's
go back. Let's
go back. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Focus.
Number 2, The Kingsman.
Okay, number 2, the Kingsman, the Secret Service, coming in 11.7
million. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, 0.7 million. Made 85 million so far.
At a budget of 81 million, and it's holding up pretty well. A 36% drop off, which is decent, pretty good.
So, which is, I mean, the movie is kind of like a superhero movie. So, which I guess in the cold winter months, is doing well.
Yeah. So we'll probably see. We'll definitely see more Kingsman.
Right. I mean, probably released in the winter months as well, because the summer months are dominated by Marvel, DC, and Disney.
Right.
So I guess it's a good spot for them since the competition is really weak during these days.
So now we're gonna get comic book movies year round.
Yeah.
Right.
True.
SpongeBob movie. Number 3.
SpongeBob movie, yes, coming in number 3, 11.2 million.
Holding up pretty well.
Yeah, 140 million so far. On a budget of 74, fourth week.
Yep, doing really well. Doing way better than the first film. First film, I think, made a total of 85 million, and this is at 140 million and still going.
I would like to point out that SpongeBob made a jump to 3D. Kind of like a mixture, but still, the promo is more like, hey, we're a 3D movie, in the likes of like Pixar and other. We're no longer the old animation 2-3 hand-drawn animation. We're updated now. We're up with the times, kind of thing.
Yeah. I think that might have helped, but that's only like the last 10-15 minutes of the film now.
Right. But then again,
the marketing
saying, hey, we're not your,
we're not the
hand-drawn animation. We're up with the times. We're as good as the other studios.
Yeah, I thought even the 2D stuff was really well done. They 3D-ified it, I guess. Like if you put on your 3D glasses, even though it's hand-drawn, there's a depth of feel and I thought it was beautifully drawn. It looked great. Even the 2D. Most of the film is in 2D, and I thought it looked great.
I mean, there was nothing wrong with 2D in the first place, but I think it's just people just want to see 3D, right?
Yeah, it's like every studio's cranking out 3D animated features.
Right. I guess that's what people want to see, and that's what they're gonna give them. Okay. Number 4, 50 Shades of Grey. Roughly 11 million in its third weekend, a 51% drop.
It's at 148 million total domestically, and I think worldwide is at like 500 million or something.
Yeah, closing in at 5 million.
500 million. Not
500 million. Sorry. 500 million.
At a budget of just 40 million. This is like more than 10 times its budget worldwide.
Yeah. And you know what? I don't think the actors are paid much for this. So success for the studio, but hey, the actors aren't being paid much.
Yeah, and they probably signed a 3-film contract, so they.
Yeah.
I wonder how those contracts work. I wonder if they get a bonus when a movie does this well.
Probably. I mean, I think even if they don't have it in the contract, I mean, maybe the studios, as a goodwill gesture.
Well, just sign them a check.
Would give them anyway.
Kind of like James Cameron when he made Titanic, and when it broke all box office records, the studio just wrote him a $100 million check.
Yeah.
Here's 100 million.
That's more like, don't take your talent to South Beach. Stay with us.
Oh, right. That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
But a movie like this would, I think, for the actors, it's just more, just give them more exposure. Really. Right. So it's good for them.
I mean, everyone knows Dakota Johnson now. Everyone knows who she is now. And the great thing about her is, although the reviews for the film have been bad, the reviews of her performance have been good. Like, she's like the bright spot in the movie.
And I think that's what people are looking for. I mean, actresses are looking for when they want to break out, is to do something risky. I mean, like high risk, high reward type of movies.
Right.
And I think that's what led Elizabeth Berkley to do Showgirls.
Yeah.
Everybody knows who she is now, right? Even though her career.
Even though the film tanked.
Yeah.
I guess it did get a sort of cult following on video.
Yeah. Even though her career didn't take off from there, but I think she did okay afterwards. I mean, in notoriety and other stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to another debut.
Yeah, the new opening, like another new opening, number 5, the Lazurus Effect, 10.6 million, starring Olivia Wilde and produced by Jason Blum, the horror guy. Yeah, we thought it would do much better.
Yeah, no, but I guess like I think it was Box Office Mojo or Box Office Guru said that the days when a horror film can regularly open at 20 million or over. Now horror films are opening in the low teens, 10.6 million. But irregardless, this film only cost 3.3 million and is made nearly 3 times that on its opening weekend, and it's already profitable.
Yeah, and the thing with horror films, is that it's really cheap to make.
Yeah. Yep. It's a good business model, even though it's not doing as well as they used to do. But hey, the budgets are so low that 10.6 million is still a decent amount.
Yeah, maybe people are just like hoard out.
Yeah, they could be.
I think they need a break, and then I think horror movie will make a comeback. I mean, it's one of those genres that it's always there.
Yeah, right.
We're waiting to be tapped because it doesn't cost a lot of money to make.
Yep.
And it always performs well. Even though it's like 10 million, but it's like 3.3 million to make.
The great thing about the horror genre is, unlike fantasy or sci-fi, your budget could be low. You can't make I guess you can make a sci-fi movie for 3.3 million. It's just that it's really difficult to make a low budget sci-fi or fantasy movie.
Well, you couldn't have lasers. You couldn't have robots.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
The robots would have to look like humans.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah.
Right. So that's one of the nice things about the horror genre. Budgets you can crank them out cheaply and they make a decent profit.
Yeah.
All right. Should we move on to number 6?
Okay, number 6, McFarland USA, the Kevin Costner sports movie, about 7.8 million. In the second weekend, 21 million or 22 million so far. It did okay.
Yeah, I mean, considering it's Kevin Costner is like one of his better performing movies lately.
Yeah.
And it's it's holding up pretty well. Only a 29% drop off from last week, and it got great reviews, 78% on Rotten Tomatoes.
And this is, I think, is this Kevin Costner's second movie this year? The other one was Black or White, right?
Black and White, yeah, yep.
I think it's Black or White. Not
Black or White, yeah.
I think so.
Okay. Oh yeah, Black or White, you're right, yeah.
Yeah, and besides, this is not like a Kevin Costner taking the lead. I mean, he's not the one playing the sports, right? It's more about these. He's probably the coach. He's the coach of a track and field team or something like that.
No, I mean, sure, his films don't make as much as they used to, but the budgets have are also a lot lower. Like even Black or White, the budget is only 9 million, and they made about 21 million so far. So, and it doesn't look like McFarland USA is that expensive too. So, and it's already at 22 million, and it's holding steady, and looks like if it continues at this pace, it can make 35, maybe even 40 million.
Oh yeah. I mean, we have to keep in perspective that Kevin Costner is like an older actor. He's not like Liam Neeson, which find his groove.
Yeah.
later on in his career. I mean, I think that this is some of the movies that he wants to make. Take the elder statesman.
Yeah, right.
And let the younger actors have the spotlight.
Yeah, it's kind of like the same path as Harrison Ford too. Which is is I guess it's not bad. Hey.
Yeah, or kind of like Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah. Even Russell Crowe, in the Superman movie.
Right. So we like us expecting him to like open movies in the 20 million plus range is probably over. Maybe that's not the type of movies that he wants to make. I mean, he just wants to make, like I say, movies with stories that appeals to him. And if it made 20 million, cool.
Yeah, right. The cost of these films are so much lower that even if they don't make a lot of money, they can still be profitable.
Right. Okay, moving on. Number 7, American Sniper, about 7.7 million in its 10th week release. I think it's only in its 8th week of wide release, right now?
Yeah, I think so. 8 or 7.
Yeah. So, and it's 331 million.
What's Mockingjay at?
Mockingjay, who?
Oh, 330. Okay, 337. So in another week, American Sniper will become the top grossing movie of 2014. And it's still holding up really well. Only a 23% drop off.
Yes.
And the lowest drop off in the top 10. With all the films in the top 10, still going strong.
It's still staying in theaters. I mean, yeah, it once it gets to this range, it's going to last a couple more weeks
before it starts losing massive.
Before losing steam, and then it'll drop out of theaters. It's still got a couple more weeks in it, so and it will definitely pass Mockingjay Part 1.
Yeah, right.
And number 8, the DUFF. In the second week, 7.1 million. Another Chappie movie. I think the DUFF is based on a book.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
After 2 weeks of release, it's already made 20 million total. At a budget of only 8.5 million.
All right, so, a teen comedy. Not much we can say about it, I guess.
Yeah, and I guess like most of the films in the top 10 this week, most of them held steady. Most of the drop off has been like 30%. Except for 50 Shades of Grey.
Like we said, it was like extremely front loaded.
Yeah.
A huge drop off, but hey, it was a huge opening. So that opening pretty much made the money.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Number 9, Still Alice.
Still Alice, starring Julianne Moore, Alex Baldwin, Kristen Stewart.
Julianne Moore won the Oscar for Best Actress.
Yes.
And 2.7 million, 12 million so far. Got a big boost on the Oscars.
Yes.
And it's a movie that was only budgeted at 5 million. So. Hey.
Yeah, it was in limited release for a couple of weeks, only in a couple hundred theaters, and then expanded during the Oscar push.
Yeah, and surprisingly,
during the Oscars, actually.
Yeah, and surprisingly, of all the films that won awards in the Oscars, this one did the best post-Oscars compared to, let's say, Whiplash and Birdman and Theory of Everything.
Yeah, but those movies have been in theaters for quite some time. Still, relatively.
Yeah, those films have made. Those films have made most of their money during the Oscar season, and this one, no one has seen it. Well, not no one. Not many people have seen it during the Oscar push until after the Oscars, and it won an award. Now it's getting more attention because I guess less people have seen it. So interesting that how that works. I thought the Birdman after winning Best Picture would get a bigger boost and would get the biggest boost. But I guess Still Alice ended up being.
Right. Maybe those people watched it on video or VOD.
Yeah, that's true. It's already available on VOD.
Yeah. So I mean, why? I mean, because the smaller movies, people would rather watch at home instead of like making a trip to theaters anyway. So maybe that's it.
Yeah, it could be. Or it could just be, still, like you said, Still Alice was one of those under the radar films, and people didn't, and until it won the Oscars, it wasn't on people's radar.
Right.
But like Birdman and the Theory of Everything have been pushed. Like, hey, this is the film that's gonna win the most Oscars throughout the entire Oscar season. And though these two films have made. Birdman and the Theory of Everything have made like 1 million or 2 every week since I don't know, like October or November.
Yeah.
So
well, not much. Not much we can say about that except that like those movies really are not the type of movies people will like seek out unless you are like a film connoisseur.
Yeah.
Well, it's pretty much like about character studies, right? These movies are character studies, and those movies don't tend to do very well unless they star like big name actors.
Yeah.
Take for example, like a Will Smith, for example, right? Or Brad Pitt. Kind of like that. So the star power. All right, moving on to number 10. Hot Tub Time Machine 2, 2.4 million. In its second week, experienced nearly like a 60% drop.
Yeah, which means it's got to be pretty terrible. I mean, the reviews were awful, 15% on the tomato meter. I think John Cusack, despite the trailer for Dragon Blade, is like, I'm actually he's probably actually kind of glad that he made Dragon Blade instead of Hot Tub Time Machine too.
Well, but the thing with John Cusack is that he's pretty open to like foreign movies, right? He was like in a couple of Chinese movies.
Yeah, that's true.
Younger, so and you know, hey, now he expand his market.
Yeah.
Right. I think it's a good deal for him.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
And besides, he wasn't the one who said that line. So he got off. So he got off.
Yeah, right. It's Adrian Brody.
Right. Okay.
Which just goes to show, no matter how good of an actor you are, you can only do so much with the screenplay that's given to you.
Right.
Let's see. Birdman finally crossed the 40 million mark.
Yay! Woo!
Yeah.
It took some time, but it did.
Yeah.
20 weeks.
Yeah. And the theory of everything, is close is at 35 million. So we were both right. We were both kind of right.
5 more million, and it's at 17 week. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's gonna do it because it's only in 600 theaters.
Yeah. So I mean, I had my doubts whether it'll make it or not. So we'll see. Yeah.
But hey, we were both close. We were both kind of right.
We're in the ballpark. Let's see. Jupiter Ascending, 2.1 million. 43 million so far.
At a budget of 176 million.
Right. I mean, we talked about that in previous podcasts.
Yeah, worldwide it's made 124 million.
Oh, but still not good.
Still not good. Yeah.
They still have China, Japan. I mean, they haven't opened in China, Japan, Russia.
Yeah.
So they don't have an open everywhere yet.
Yeah, so it's actually 81 million without China, Japan, and Russia, or even Australia.
Right.
Yeah, it hasn't opened in Australia yet too. So there's still a big market ahead. And hey, you know what? It might have a chance to even reach 200 million worldwide. Well, I guess it depends on how it does in China and Japan.
Right, but still not a good number. I mean.
Still is. Even if it makes 200 million worldwide, it still lose a lot of money.
Yeah.
Still gonna be a big money loser. But still, it won't hurt as much. Let's put it this way. If it does well in China and Japan,
Well, they're already losing money in the first place, and right? Because no movie makes money. So and they're losing even more. Maybe the only way they can save the only movie that can save the Wachowski maybe is another Matrix movie.
No, I know the Matrix 2 and 3 pretty much lost all of the goodwill that the first Matrix created. I mean, by the third Matrix movie, even fans were already jumping off board. They weren't. I don't think anyone considered the Matrix sequels to be even good.
Right. I don't.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Imitation Game, 1.9 million. Looks like it won't make 100 million.
Let me see. Oh yeah,
remember initially it was like people say it was on track, kind of like the King's Speech, to make 100 million. It looks like it won't make it.
Yeah. Well, it's still holding kind of steady though, like 24% drop off. And it only needs what 13 million.
Yeah, but then again, you 13 million, you have to have like 13 more weeks at 1 million.
Oh yeah. That 20% drop off if it can make. Yeah, that's true. Well, can it stay in theaters for another 6 weeks? Let's say.
Yeah, still you need 13 weeks.
Yeah, that's true. At least. Yeah, 13 weeks, and it's not gonna stay there that long.
Right? Yeah.
So it'll get close. All right, maybe it'll get to 90, a little bit over 90.
But still, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good number for a movie that's kind of low key.
It's not just pretty good. It's a great.
Right. So it was low key. Pretty much nobody heard about it. It got some noise.
No big name actors.
Well, Benedict Cumberbatch, kind of Keira Knightley. Those are good.
Oh yeah. But those aren't Keira Knightley. Other than the Pirates of the Caribbean films, isn't an actress that opens movies. For a movie that's kind of like you said, low key, getting to 100 million is very impressive.
Yeah.
Oh, Paddington is at 70 million total. Let's see what the worldwide figure is. Oh, worldwide is at 230 million. Pretty good for a movie that's budgeted at 55 million.
Yeah, it started out slow, and then it did pretty well.
Yeah, kind of held up every week.
And let's see, we talked about it there.
Oh, Selma cracked the 50 million mark.
All right. Oh, Seventh Son. It's at 16, nearly 17 million so far. Still a big budget bomb.
Yeah, and a big budget bomb.
Yep. 95 million. It cost 95 million to make, at least reportedly. Taken 3 is at 88. Project Almanac, nearly 22 million. The Michael Bay produced sci-fi thriller.
I don't see anything else, huh?
Yeah. Oh, which means
it's time for next week's movies.
Or this week's openings.
Yeah, this week's opening.
This week's openings. Let's see. We have Chappie.
Yeah, Chappie is the second best exotic Marigold Hotel. Opening wide or limited?
It's in 1,400 plus theaters, so it's
wide. So that's kind of wide, yeah.
And then Unfinished Business. Okay, let's talk about Chappie.
Chappie should be interesting.
Yeah, it's a movie directed by Neil Blomkamp. He's the guy who directed District 9 and Elysium. And Chappie is sort of like the same type of movie. About a robot who kind of became more human.
Right.
And about the, I guess, what is it?
It's kind of like described as
discrimination,
more of a modern, that deals with all those issues, but kind of more of a modern, short circuit.
Yeah, kind of, but this like I said,
but much more urban, less family friendly, more of a like an R-rated version of Short Circuit.
I think the Chappie also ties in with what he did with like District 9, which is more like aliens facing discrimination from the humans.
Yeah, right. Using the sci-fi genre to deal with modern day political issues.
Right. So.
Okay, looks like my
going on with you back there. Like there's I'm hearing like a huge motor.
Yeah, my lawn guy.
Okay. This is how cheap our production is. It's like we depend on outside noises for our sound effects.
Yeah, right. And since we're talking about Chappie, this is kind of mechanical and robotic.
Right. It just adds to it.
Yeah, adds to our production value.
And we got it for free, yeah. Okay.
Well, I have to pay the guy,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There's some cost.
Yeah, there's some cost.
Let's say this.
Money into this.
It's a side benefit.
You're right.
Yeah. How do you think it's gonna do? It's like open in over 3,000 theaters.
It's kind of a strange movie. I mean, District 9 was one of those surprise hits when it came out. There's no big stars, but Elysium is when with Matt Damon. That's when Neil Blomkamp finally went Hollywood. He got Matt Damon. He also got who's the other star? Jodie Foster.
Yes.
Yeah, Matt Damon and Jodie Foster. So it's when he went Hollywood, and it actually didn't do as well as it did decent, but it actually didn't do as well as District 9 or as people expected. Even though the reviews were solid and the box office was decent, I think in general there's a slight disappointment. It felt like a slight disappointment. And this one is kind of there's no big stars like District 9, and I'm not sure how mainstream this the story is.
Interesting.
What do you think?
Well, interestingly, the movie stars Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman's in there.
Oh, really? He's in there?
Yeah. I think he plays the bad guy, kind of.
Oh, yeah, he is in here.
So, and like I say, interestingly, Hugh Jackman is also in another robot movie, Real Steel.
Oh yeah, right.
Something similar, right?
Right. Anderson Cooper is in it too, as himself.
Right, and
Sigourney Weaver.
And I think Dev Patel.
Yeah, and whoa, Ninja as Ninja.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, me neither. Who is this ninja guy?
I don't know. We'll know afterward if this movie does well. Yeah, kind of like.
Or is it a error on Rotten Tomatoes?
It's also on IMDb, so.
Okay. Oh, we gotta find out who this ninja guy is.
Yeah, so Dev Patel is also in the second best Marigold Hotel as well.
Oh, okay, right.
Bit of trivia there.
Yeah. So what do you think?
It's kind of odd. The movie, I'm not sure if.
Yeah, it is kind of an odd movie.
It's not a movie I want to watch personally.
I am looking forward to it, but I'm not sure how mainstream this can be.
Yeah.
No, I'm a fan of the director, and I like Elysium and I like District 9, and so I'm actually really looking forward to this. But the thing is, I saw the trailer and I'm not sure how mainstream this film is. I'm not sure if your average Joe would see the trailer and go, "Oh, I want to watch this."
True, but it has the theater count going for it as well.
Yeah, and it's opening really wide.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't, the trailer doesn't seem as mainstream as the amount of theaters that it's opening in.
So how about I will put this at 25.
Okay, 25.
Yes, I'm gonna go 25. Although I was wrong last week in my prediction for Focus.
Right. How did Elysium do? Right? Oh, Elysium opened to 30 million.
30, yeah.
And that's with Matt Damon and Jodie Foster.
Jodie Foster, Diego Luna.
This one, even though Hugh Jackman's in it, he's not the guy that they're promoting.
Well, he is the bad guy, but he's
not. Yeah, he's the bad guy, but he's not the lead top bill actor. That's
right.
In the trailer, they're not like Hugh Jackman.
Right.
Is Chappie.
Well, he is not Chappie, but
yeah, he's not Chappie, but
he has a beard that covers his face. But the interesting thing is, like, District 9 has a 37 million opening.
Yeah, but District 9 was kind of one of those films that came out of nowhere, and all the critics liked it, and it kind of built the hype. Kind of was slowly generated by online.
Right. And
who's seen it in film festivals? Mm-hmm. With Chappie, yeah. Yeah, I think I'm pegging it at 20 to 25 million. Maybe on the lower end. Maybe even 20 million.
Both of us are not really high on Chappie.
Yeah.
Which might not be a good thing for Sony.
Yeah, what's the budget on this?
It didn't say. We'll find out soon enough. But hey, sci-fi movies are not cheap.
Yeah. Yep.
It looks like a like 70+ million movie.
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So. Anyway, how about the second best exotic Marigold Hotel?
The first film made what, 50 million? A total?
Yeah, the first film made nearly about 50 million, but worldwide is like over 130. Yeah,
and the first film was one of those limited releases that eventually became semi-mainstream. The reviews so far on Rotten Tomatoes is actually pretty good, 74% so far. On the second best exotic Marigold Hotel, which is better than I expected because after seeing the first film, it was like it feels like one of those one-off movies, not a movie that produces sequels. And this
is one of those movies where the characters make the movie and you just want to see them together again.
Yeah. But at the same time, if you've seen after watching the first film, I wasn't expecting a sequel. Mm-hmm. So it's more of one of those films where, whoa, this did surprisingly well. Let's crank out another one.
Yes. So it's pretty much, as the title suggests, even as the trailer suggests, right? They pretty much made a second Marigold Hotel.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So, which is another excuse for the actors to get together, and they introduced Richard Gere.
Yeah.
In the movie.
Oh, right. And it's kind of So the 74% after 35 reviews on Rotten Tomatoes is actually better than I expected.
No, it's the movie's gonna review well. I mean, but it's just one of those dramas. Really, it's about character interaction, about growing old. You know, like what happens from there. Like how do people spend the end of their lives?
So what are you pegging the opening at?
Opening weekend, I think it's gonna be low. Let's see. The first movie, when it has the theater count, similar theater count, right? It has around 3 million.
No. When it expanded to over 1,000 theaters, it the first weekend it did 6.4 million.
Oh, right.
And then the second weekend, and then wait.
It was like a long weekend, so I expected a similar amount, I think.
You don't think the goodwill generated by the first run will give it a larger opening?
Probably not.
So what are you thinking?
I'm thinking around probably 6.
6? Oh, I'm gonna put it at since it's starting off, I'm gonna put it at like 12.
12, okay.
Yeah, mainly because I think the goodwill generated by the first film will probably give it a bigger, bigger opening number.
Sure, I mean, I expect this movie to like stay in theaters, just because people who these type of movies are target don't usually like rush out on the first weekend.
Right,
so, I think this is one of those movies that are going to stay in the theaters and it'll last a couple weeks.
Okay, so 6 million, 12 million.
6 million, 12 million, which is like a huge range.
Yeah. And Chappie, I'm on the lower end of 20 million.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the higher.
Okay.
Doing 25. Okay, and then we have Unfinished Business.
I'm not sure. It seems like Vince Vaughn's time has come and gone. His last few comedies didn't do that well. And this is seems like another Vince Vaughn type of movie. Like the Internship didn't do as well as, it still ended up making about 45 million.
Yeah.
And then Delivery Man made about 31 million. And then The Watch, about 34 million. So he is kind of, his days of opening these comedies at over 100 million are kind of, or around the 100, not opening, but making 100 million are kind of gone, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, see.
Sure, this one has Dave Franco, but still.
Yeah, Unfinished Business is interesting is because like in his previous movies, he usually team up with another famous guy, a comedian.
Yeah,
like
right.
Owen Wilson, etc., etc. This one, he's pretty much kind of like on his own.
Although Dave Franco have been doing pretty well as a Seth Rogen's sidekick, so we'll see if he can produce the same kind of magic for Vince Vaughn.
Okay, yep. Okay, so what do you think?
Maybe 10 million range.
Okay, it's let's see, 2,800 theaters. This is not really like more offensive comedies that you expect from him. It's more kind of toned down. So you don't see a lot of the more outrageous behaviors in his previous comedies, which may have a broader appeal.
Okay, so you're putting it at above 10 million?
Yes, I would do 15.
You would do 15? All right.
15.
If it does 15, then Dave Franco magic sauce is working.
He's like the Dwayne Johnson of sidekicks.
Oh, okay, of comedies.
Of comedies, yeah.
Right.
If he can manage to pull this one up.
Yeah. Okay. We shall see next week.
We shall see. And looks like this is that's all for this week. And we'll come back next week and see how we do.
See you guys next week.
All right. Bye, everyone.
The 2 or 3 of you.
The 2 or 3 of you, yes. Maybe we can get a couple more.
We should just ask our parents, but they don't speak English, so.
Well, even though they're our parents, I think even they have limits. All right. Signing off.